So, it's going to be mousesports starting on the terrorist side. It's going to be Robson actually buying the smoke grenade. Drops over Tech 9 to STYKO. Smoke comes out, I believe that's towards what? Connector potentially? My goodness, so connector spawn. Sorry, connector smoke from spawn means a fast rush here towards B.
Oh, they burst their way down. Twist was trying to play anti-flash a little bit there, but actually gets caught off guard. Will take down suNny nevertheless, but already 3 frags go their way. It's just Schneider and Dennis left, trapped towards that P-bomb site, Snods. They're taking pot shots, but they can't quite slow down the opposition. Oscar will take him down in a matter of seconds, and it's all on Dennis in a 1 versus 4 with Oscar from the sideline. That is absolutely horrendous. They've been taking it down in a matter of seconds, just blown out the water. Nothing they could really do there. Yeah. And they lose the opening pistol.
Great pistol. They're coming out from mousesports. Smoke from Rops. Instantly smokes off connector. They go for the fast play. 4 players down drop. And they split through electric back towards the B bomb site, and they claim it instantly. Now you're going to be seeing the 5 players from the T side going to be grouping towards the A side. It's looking like a fast play towards A long, trying to see if they can catch GODSENT off guard. Anyway, Deagles into Disco Doppelin and goes hands. Let's see what these players can do on their CT side force buy.
suNny will to the Mac 10 as he wants to sprint through and see if he can actually open up this bomb site right now. The only thing is, he's walking into a Deagle that is armed and focusing towards him. Smart play here as they get the Molotov down. Schneider has to reposition, but Schneider actually just runs in. They don't trade it just yet. Eventually, Oscar will peek out, but Disco Doppelin with a Deagle. My God, this is going to be a bloodbath of a game.
1 man advantage now for GODSENT on the CT side. No armor there for Dennis. Kevlar though onto Twist, Disco Doppelin, and Pith. Unable to retrieve the AKs that they actually did get the kills upon. So, could that be the silver lining here for mousesports? 1 minute left on the clock as they just hold. They're waiting for the aggression here, the re-aggression from GODSENT. They want some from the CT side to get aggressive, try and find some information, and walk into the crosshairs of one of the mousesports players. Nevertheless, though, close towards A long is Dennis. He has no Kevlar. Disco Doppelin as well towards. Actually towards Balcony, holding the line there. Let's see if they can get the entry towards Dennis and have the sight for theirs.
The Eagles are still in play. Disco Doppelin going to fire out another warning shot as he's going to really try and scare them. He's already shown what damage he can do as he flexed his muscles early into the round. Dennis up close and personal, unfortunately. Can't inflict any revenge for his fallen brethren. As he will go down. Oh, another Deagle frag for Disco Doppelin as he's just ripping his way through everyone, Snods. STYKO will retaliate though as he connects the headshot back towards Pith. Doppelin falls and it's all on Twist in a 1 versus 2.
Man advantage now for mousesports. The bomb is planted as well. No kit, no utility for Twist in this scenario. It's pure aim. Spots the first player, but STYKO lands a nice headshot there to take him down. It's going to be 2-0 now. Of course, the force buy from GODSENT didn't merit them the round. One of the issues here for mousesports is the fact only 2 players survive, but luckily for them, the kills were on the Mac 10, so they can stack up with some cash. As they go into round number 3, it's going to be the full eco coming out from the CT side GODSENT. Unarmored. Actually not going to be upgrading their pistols going into the 3rd round, so it should be a bloodbath here from mousesports. Try and have the first kills going to favour these Mac 10s. And they're actually only going to have 1 SMG onto suNny, so try and have him lead the charge, get the first kills, and stack up as much cash as efficiently as possible.
Just try and build up as much money as possible, really, is going to be the aim of the game. Into the round as they drop their way down. suNny will lead the charge through drop down, as you said. Actually, Chris J in front, going to try and set him up to go for these trades. They do push towards him, but he can't quite compose himself. Struggling, but Rops with a Deagle is absolutely filthy as he finds those shots. Pip will be able to trade it back, but it's only 1 kill they actually claim. 2 casualties on the side of mousesports, but they pick it up. That's all 3 rounds grabbed off the back of the opening pistol, but this is where the investment comes in.
One of the issues here of losing your CT side pistol is you can see the scenario right now that mousesports have put GODSENT in. Round number 4, the buy comes out for the CT side, but look, they've invested everything they had. They went for the force buy into the 2nd round. Dennis did eco into the PT50, so he does have the ADVP into round number 4. But if they lose this one, mousesports get to 4-0. They're going to be playing versus the quasi buy, a weak pistol buy from GODSENT, and they can really start to string rounds together. Get an early lead into this one. suNny going to be wielding the Mac 10 and bringing it forward into the first buy round. Of course, if mousesports win this one, their money bringing forward these submachine guns will be in such a good scenario. Bomb going to be making its way slowly but surely back towards the A side. 3 players here, making 4 actually, including the bomb, making their way towards A. Going to be leaving 1 player to lurk towards the B bomb site. See if he can sell the fake and try and see if the CT defense will rotate someone back towards connector. Maybe have 4 players go back towards B.
Lots of warning shots going off early, but not really too much actual damage being done into the round as Twist is just waiting for the push to come towards him. STYKO will peek towards him. Does find the headshot though as Twist goes down.
There we have it, the man advantage. Make it 2. Oscar's up. We'll find the 2nd kill onto Disco Doppelin. It's going to be the 5 versus 2. As now mousesports, they wait. They're waiting for the re-aggression to come out from GODSENT. There's still 50 seconds left. GODSENT have to be wary in case there is a play towards that B site. You might see Pith Could aggressive towards A long, but nevertheless, here comes the execute towards A. From mousesports, can they seal the deal and finish this one off?
mousesports normally towards the safe side. They do have a lot of prowess as they do charge their way out. They overpower Biff as they double face him. The spam comes in for Schneider though, through the smoke, takes down Chris J, but I think him and Dennis have realized they're better off just counting their losses and saving this one for another day.
Yep, gonna throw in the towel here and save it. 2 versus 4 in this scenario. They have no kit as well, as the site is mousesports and the bomb is planted. STYKO gonna go for the hunt. Obviously the money right now is booming for the mousesports side, so they do have the money here to hunt.
Yeah, they can invest into this one. Go a little bit John Rambo as they push their way out and hope to find these frags as they roam around.
So let's see if STYKO able to catch him off guard. Actually, Dennis, oh my goodness, spots the AK, will eventually take him down. Schneider as well still has his M4 in his arsenal. It's looking like both of these guns will be safe. You can see no more tier players close towards the CT ones. So as we go into round number 5 now, I mentioned before, the scenario that GODSENT are going to be in now. Obviously, they are going to have a 4-round loss bonus, so they can potentially drop over 2 M4s for the 2 players that did save. So we could have a 1 AWP and 3 rifle buy. You can see Dennis and Schneider do have enough money for the M4s, and we're dropping them over. It's going to be 3 M4s, 1 AWP, and the UMP are there onto Pith. All potentially here for nothing, as mousesports going to have 2 MAC-10s, 2 AKs, and the 1 AWP again onto Oscar. Are mousesports going to be caught off guard from the 4 spy count from GODSENT? The fact that they did save these rifles, and their economy is able to establish a buy into round number 5. Aggression here and a fast play towards B. Are they going to be caught off guard?
All out aggression, it seems, is the order of the day. Snons actually sprint their way straight through. suNny with a MAC-10, but he's armed and dangerous. Rops as well. They're storming around with these weapons, and they're just tearing down everything in the front of them. His defenses all brought to the table by GODSENT have been dismantled.
Another smoke comes out towards Connector. Rops does get flashed, and actually just Disco Doppler finds the kill. It's going to be the 2 versus 2 in the site retake here from GODSENT.
Twist and Disco Doppler, what can they actually do as they push their way in? Oscar peeks out with the correct timing as he blows Twist away. It's all on Disco Doppler. He's getting tagged down low and he's paranoid. Doesn't really want to run the risk and overextend and fall into this round. He has a Molotov and a flashbang to aid him. He has the kit as well, but he's just trying to create these 1 versus 1 fights and hoping Chris J might peek out. But Oscar will have the advantage. Peaks round, already 5 rounds on the board. mousesports are starting to steamroll their way through. Cobblestone is a map that we've seen them perform on quite a lot in history, and they're still living up to that.
Obviously, before when they had Nico as the IGL, Cobblestone was the maps they constantly picked. It was like a comfort map, a home map for them.
Yeah.
They would have Nico lurk towards Connector. Sorry, not towards Connector. Lurk towards drop. He would just wait and drop, see if there's any CT aggression peeking him. He would try and find entries towards B from Electric, trying to find a first kill towards Connector from window. But they used him as the lurk role, the information provider, and a player to open up the sites. And it feels like Rops on that T side is obviously the player that's to fill those shoes as the lurk player. Nevertheless, though, once again, Disco Doppler finds the 1 deke. It's the first kill onto STYKO, and actually the anti-eco from mousesports not looking so good so far as to lose the first man.
These Deagles, though, they already showed what they can do with them, and they gave us a little bit of a taster in that opening round, Snods, when they were just ripping their way through. Nearly reset mousesports because of it. So you've still got to be quite wary walking into a site stacked with these pistols.
You said at their best, though. Resetting mousesports. You saw $12,000 into one of the players on the T side. For GODSENT right now to break the money and break the bank on mousesports and to force an eco across it, but they have to win 3 on the trot. And yes, they may have the man advantage to this round here, round number 6, but it's not looking likely when you look at the firepower and the utility as well. Here comes the attack there and the commitment towards B.
Fled their way through. Schneider playing up close first with the CZ, knows how to wield the weapon effectively, but suNny responds absolutely spectacularly with the AK. Rops as well will get 1 back on towards Piff, but it's just left on Twist and Disco Doppler. The battle with the Eagles right now as they try and get a dirt frag, but eventually it will be Twist to connect 1. Blows Rops away, flashbangs himself as he is trying to retreat out of there. Couldn't quite grab the weapon. The bomb has not gone down yet, though, Snods. There's 25 seconds remaining. The bomb has only just been planted, and Twist has to try and push his way through. Connect. The only thing is, suNny and Oscar are watching the angle, waiting for the right moment to swiftly strike and eliminate him here. They think they should be able to overpower him as they just wait. Pistol in arms. He actually just tiptoe out, a little bit awkward, as he might have been able to find that frag, but eventually it'll be suNny to connect the AK spam.
Here we have it. 6-0 now as we're going to round number 7. 13,000 now to the bank for Oscar. 13,000 as well for suNny, pretty much. So, GODSENT, can they string these rounds together on the CT side? A worst case scenario right now for GODSENT will be to win this one, make it 6-1, and they get instantly reset from mousesports. That could literally be a 9-1, a 10-1 scoreline, and easily spell the end here for GODSENT on the CT side on the first map there on Cobblestone. Anyway, though, it's going to be the AWP onto Twist this time, no longer onto Dennis. Let's see the aggression here from Rops towards B.
sprinting his way out as he just bounds over. The counterplay from Schneider looked confident as he was mobile. Got himself in position relatively quickly, but he still falls. STYKO as well does damage back towards Twist. They're left into a 3 versus 4 now, as it's a beautiful shot coming out from Dennis, showing how effective he can be if he's left in the right scenarios, but he's overwhelmed by Chris J with the backup of suNny there. Oh, the headshot comes out for STYKO as well. It's all on Piff as he's playing around the smokes. He's just going to have to walk through. He's going to have to try and go for a power play. Finds 1 kill. Hungry for more as he's trying to rattle off those shots, but Chris J will take him down. This is the mousesports show.
It is indeed. Strong play there from mousesports. You saw what happened. Rob's got the first kill there towards B onto Schneider. 5 versus 4. The reply from mousesports is to instantly stack up together on B platform and line up the line of smokes, the wall of smokes, to basically isolate all the players on site to block off any rotations coming in from A. They granted them round number 7. It's going to be the 7-round lead. GODSENT unable to pick one up just yet. It's going to be the quality buy coming from them. We're going to be seeing 3 Deagles, CZ down to Schneider, and of course the 5-7 for Pith. We've seen some close rounds here onto the Ecos, 1 versus 2s, 1 versus 3s. They haven't really been able to carry it forward into a round win just yet.
It's true. But GODSENT though, already starting to really let this one slip. I mean, you expect this map to be a lot more T-sided rather than anything. It's where you can really take that dominant opening with the back of the AK. It's so easy to just run your way through and cause upsets, especially towards that B-bomb site right now. mousesports have it on lockdown at being able to overwhelm that defense from GODSENT. GODSENT back into another round where it seems like they're just going to let it slip as easy as can be. Disco Doppelin goes down with the wall bang from Oscar. It's just a matter of time really until they get this 8th round on the board.
GODSENT playing into the hands of mousesports as well. mousesports on the terrorist side is playing the slow defaults, the holding for the aggression from the CT side, and Disco Doppelin does just that. The aggression is met by the ult from Oscar. He finds the first kill. Let's go with the 5 versus 4 here into round number 8. 7-0 is the scoreline. It's looking like an 8-0 lead already for mousesports, and already essentially winning the half.
They're going to push their way down. Flashbang goes in. I'm not even sure what that position was. I have no idea what he was attempting to achieve there, but they push their way through. It's the counterplay towards the A-bomb site. Twist is on the scene, ready to cause a bit of a stir right now. Deagle is locked and loaded, but unfortunately his composure was straight out the window, so he does go down to Rops. And it's all left on Schneider. Just a measly CZ. Probably can't achieve too much. Just expecting there to be a player lurking around him, but it's just a matter of time before he goes down, really.
Sad story right now for GODSENT. Even in the 1 versus 5, they can't play for Exes. It's not really too fruitful. You look at the money right now to the T side. Schneider can try and get 1 kill here or there. If he gets the kill onto Oscar, try and salvage that or into the next one. That's all really they can hope for.
Schneider, flashbang over. He's going to try and go for the play, but Oscar was completely aware of it and blows him away. It's always quite enjoyable to watch Oscar on Cobblestone as well, because it's sort of his playground. It's his home map in a lot of ways where you see him just flex his muscles and do constant damage.
Currently leading the charge as well in terms of kills. 11-1 for Oscar. 8-0 scoreline in favor of mousesports. We're going to round number 9. GODSENT, the answer after losing 8 on the trot is going to be the double up setup. 1 up towards B and 1 up towards A. Very strong, obviously, but let's see what the aggression here towards mid will pay off.
Oh, this is huge from Twist so far. The nade goes in, transfers so much shrapnel damage towards Chris J, and a swift damage coming out from his M4 there will eliminate the 2 players they tried to push through. STYKO is low as well.
Yes, indeed. 5 versus 3 now, 1 minute 30 on the clock. The bomb still towards A. Disco Doppelin has a nice headshot there onto Oscar. Makes the lead even greater for GODSENT. 5 versus 2, they cannot afford to throw away weapons in this scenario. They have to have 4, 5 stay alive here. They cannot be giving away guns for free to mousesports.
Oh, suNny's just walked straight past Schneider in the smoke there. They've crossed each other like ships in the night. But he's actually going to spot the bomb as well. Look at the position and play from Schneider here. He can find the bomb, get the kill back and towards Robs. Schneider is just single-handedly closed out the round here now. There's no real way that STYKO can try and backtrack, recover the bomb, or do anything. All they have to do is just hold off. They know exactly what the game plan was into the round.
STYKO now in the 1 versus 4. 50 seconds left. The bomb still towards Dragonlaw. Best case scenario is try to take 1 extra, 2 extra guns out of that CT economy. Obviously 2 extra kills here. $9,000 worth of investment. You can easily be seeing UMPs into play into the next one. STYKO gets the drop here onto Schneider. Actually whiffs the shot, and somehow, some way, Schneider does a 180 and actually wins the spray duel versus STYKO. And there we have it. 1 on the board now for GODSENT. They cannot afford to be reset though. mousesports have to play a hard and fast round, try and catch GODSENT off guard again. Make it 9-1, force the eco, force the force buy. This could easily be 10-1. And a massive 9-round advantage here for mousesports already on the T side Cobblestone. It's looking like the practice has definitely been paying off. GODSENT having to field the sub as well. after Lekra going to Fnatic, it seems like their play on the CT side is incoherent, sloppy. It seems like, essentially, just giving away rounds for free to mousesports.
Yeah, I mean, that whole round was basically off the back of Twist being able to get the great opener towards middle. It was absolutely fabulous. You know, you find that double kill, you get a bit of a tag off as well and towards one of the other players, so they just had to completely change their game plan, try and reposition, relocate themselves, and work out what they wanted to do. At that point, the damage was already done. STYKO gets into backline as well, and it all just fell to pieces. But GODSENT, that's the only round they have been able to pick up. They could very easily be reset, but the same cannot be said for mousesports. As you said, they still have a huge economy, even at this point. They have a good buffer, so it doesn't matter what happens. GODSENT need to be consistent, not only get these rounds.
CT defense, it's going to be 3 towards B, 1 towards drop. They're going to leave Disco Doplin's AWP alone towards the A bomb site. Playing towards Hobbit, obviously might get exposed or be timed towards A long on mid. Talking about times though. Rob's caught, his knife out. It's going to be now the 5 versus 4, 45 seconds left on the clock, and mousesports might be giving away the scenario that actually they are going to be executed towards the A side. You see the rotation coming in now. 4 players from the CT side towards A. Finally, they should be able to hold this one off.
Yeah, definitely. The Molotov already doing an abundance of damage towards Chris J, but Chris still fights through the fire and flames as he finds that headshot. STYKO will retaliate, and Piff is just waiting for the push to come towards him. Constant use of utility. Piff peeks out, gets the one tag, forced out of position. Oscar trades it back, but STYKO up close and personal knows how to win these close range duels. Oscar tagged as well with the movement, so he couldn't backtrack, couldn't try and hunker down in cover, and STYKO gets himself a hat-trick to close out the round, but there's still good buffer of money left for mousesports.
Yep. Chris J obviously yet to buy, but has 11,000 to the bank. Once the buys come in, we're going to see it. 4,000, 5,000, well, 3,000 across the board right now for the T-side economy. I said it before, GODSENT had to win 3 on the draw if they wanted to break the bank from mousesports. It's looking like they're going to have to do it. 8-2 with the scoreline as mousesports do concede 2 on the draw. It's looking like a fast play here. B split through drop towards B platform.
Trying to use that confidence against them and set themselves up. They do have smokes to play with as well, as they start to sort them through, completely divide the site in 2 and set the whole place ablaze as well. Call the fire crew over to try and do something here as Dennis finds that first frag. He's going to start a flame right now in my heart as he's trying to keep this round alive, but unfortunately he will fall. Twist finds the headshot with the AK-47 though, hungry for more as well. He's rattling off those pot shots, playing around the smoke like a lunatic as he backtracks over, finds the kill. They had no idea what he was bringing to the table here. Biff as well, going to get that headshot, and it's all on Oscar. In these scenarios, normally, this is where he performs at his best. He loves these sort of things and starts to thrive in them, but it's so awkward for him to gain composure. Eventually gets a kill, but he's being pushed from the sidelines as well. Peeks out, trying to take down Twist, gets a big tag off, but can't quite find the frag just yet. Will do so, and it's all on.
Oh my God!
Down. It's Oscar with a hat-trick and a clutch round for mousesports.
Surely not. 22 HP there towards stairs on B platform. They gave him the 1 versus 1 versus 1, and it's going to be 9-2 now. Morale potentially shattered now from the GODSENT side of that CT half. Oh, my goodness, I mean, if things were already going south right now for GODSENT, it's gone past the equator right now for them. You can see now they're going to be buying up what they have left. AWP onto Twist, M4s onto Disco Doppler and STYKO. Upgraded pistols there for Pith and Dennis. They give away the 1 versus 3 versus Oscar. 9-2 scoreline. The best GODSENT can ask for now is to win this, make it 9-6. But it's looking unlikely. mousesports again, another full buy. They can easily make this one 10-2 for STYKO from GODSENT, 11-2. Awful plays coming out from GODSENT the CT side. Sloppy, undisciplined plays. It's looking like a bug.
It is. It's very all over the place. Needs to try and get some consistency behind them and sort it out very swiftly. They were going to try and go for the counter boost play, but instead they decide against it. Don't play around the smoke and try and boost in. They are just going to back off and situate themselves more so in an aggressive position towards the site.
So, 1 minute left on the clock. Bomb still surely going to be making its way through middle. We can see now the CT starting to get an eerie idea as what's going to be going down towards middle. 2 rotations come in towards the A side. No longer Disco Doppler alone towards A. Actually, look at the angle Disco Doppler's playing with the AWP. Playing close, the off angle with the AWP. But luckily run out for mousesports, not going to meeting his AWP. Instead, they're going to be walking potentially into the scope of Twist. Holding the angle now towards B platform. You can still flash this angle off though without having to face it. Let's see if they do. No, they don't. They give away the first kill.
Gets the first frag. He's hungry for more as well. Just going for these pop shots as he has to try and backtrack with enough time. He's got his tail between his legs and luckily will get into cover. Oh, Pife with the headshots. He takes down STYKO. That is really nicely done. Twist as well, keeping the paint train steaming right through Snod as he's finding these flicks. Eventually falls to Oscar, and it's Oscar once again in a 1 versus 3 scenario. The bomb has gone down. He's already got 1 frag into the round. Tries to land the no-scope, but STYKO will be too speedy and get the defuse. So GODSENT will be able to reset and get another round.
So, 9-6, that's 9-6, they wish. 9-3 is going to be the scoreline. Regardless, though, a 6-round deficit for GODSENT on the CT half, on the CT side. So, as we do go into round number 13 now, let's see what the buyer's going to be like for both teams. mousesports, they won one off the back of the crazy 1 versus 3 versus Oscar. They do get reset. You can see, thanks to Jakey, our observer, you can see they won 1 round, now they've been reset. Galil from STYKO is going to be the sign of that reset. A lack of utility as well for him, and for Oscar potentially as well. So, 3 AKs, 1 AWP. They're going to be playing versus the AWP that was salvaged as well from Oscar's dead body into the previous round, round number 12. 2 AWPs from the CT side, a UMP then to Pith, with the 2 rifles to finish off the rest of the CT by Bomb. Once again, outside droppers looking like another B split here, through drop and B platform. STYKO lurking towards a long, and throwing some grenades there. But already the first kill goes in favor of Pyth as he finds the first one towards drop.
Trade out to the AK-47 as well, as he will scavenge the weapon that fell down into their side of drop down. Hopes to try and just back off as well, as they now have the man lead. Oh, Oscar trying to go for the contact play. This is pretty cheeky. Oh, the timing and everything was there. It was served up on a platter, but he slips trying to get to the buffet.
So, Twist finds the second one for GODSENT into this round. It's going to be 5 versus 3. Oscar lurking his way through B platform. Flash comes in, trying to get the peek onto Twist.
Double flashbang in. Oscar has to try and trade it back. They've already lost Robinson and suNny and STYKO that actually do work right now as they storm their way through. Much need to play, and they really kick it off. They've got themselves back with a firm grasp onto the round. It's going to be Disco and Doppelin to try and retake it. You've got the AK-47 and the AWP, and only 4 flashbangs.
Disco and Doppelin in the 1 versus 2. Make it the 1 versus 1 now. Dennis last alive. Eventually will go down. Both the AWPs. I'll say both the AWPs. STYKO will be trading at the AWP for the rifle. And now look at that. We spoke of the reset coming to fruition for mousesports. It's calmer now for GODSENT on the CT side. We're going to the penultimate round here, round number 14. UMP there for Disco Doppelin. Deagle onto Twist. Well, M4 onto Dennis. CZ, P250 into Pith and Schneider. mousesports, if they win this one, they're going to be playing versus 2 force players from GODSENT. This could easily be 12-3.
Here's a stark contrast as well. If we look into the previous game that we had, how many pauses did we see come out that were just off a tactical nature to try and slow things down?
I believe it was 3 per game.
Yeah, and we look at this one, GODSENT. It seems that they just don't really have an idea of what they need to change. So they're not going for these pauses. They're just trying to keep grinding it out. And just no sort of pauses. I would have thought we'd seen a pause by now.
As so at what point do you call it? Nevertheless, though, one advantage run out for the T side of mousesports. Twist close towards long, hold of the angle, hold of the line essentially with the Deagle. It's flash off the angle, eventually fall back now. Chucks the counter flashbang, try and slow down this T side default coming out from mousesports.
Oscar, once again with the contact play, should be an easy frag for him, which he will claim. Gets the first, hungry for the second as well, and he does damage, just flicking his way through as they storm up towards the A bomb site. Piff is there. The rotate comes through for Dennis as well, as they want to try and restructure this defense, at least play together, as they know they've essentially lost out on the round anyway, so they just want to try and give everything they've got.
5 versus 2 now. 48 seconds left on the clock. Pith now close towards A long. Flashbang comes through, just find the first. Makes the 2 versus 3 actually. Dennis chimes in, finds 2.
Oh, M4 rattling away. Dennis trying to find those headshots. Will only get 1 though, couldn't quite get the second. And Oscar will shut him down. Only 20 kills to his name on the first half. Yep. Looking pretty good so far for Oscar.
4 deaths as well. Pretty much a 4 KD. Actually higher than that, essentially. There it is. Once again, the second force buy going to come out from GODSENT. We saw a weak one in the prior one, but that buy on the last one, Jack had an M4. Right now, the best, well, basis of firepower for the CT side is the UMP onto Dennis. Deagle onto Twist, 2 5.7s onto Disco Doppelin and Pith. And of course, that C's there onto Schneider. Let's see now, 1 minute 40 on the clock, bomb towards B. It's looking like they're going to be lining up the smokes versus the pistols. This could actually be effective for GODSENT if they can whittle themselves through the smokes and try and get themselves close quarters versus the AKs.
They've done this before. Will GODSENT be aware of what's going on this time around? Dennis seems to actually have a trick up his sleeve as he finds 2 frags with the UMP. It's all on Dennis to try and shut them down in the push, but the Deagle comes out for Oscar as he blows away the opposition. STYKO strikes as well, and it's just left on Twist. Locked and loaded with the Deagle. Tries to cause a bit of a scene towards the B-bomb site. He's tapping away with the Deagle snods, but nothing really comes in his favor. mousesports 12-3 as they close it down. Dominant stuff. Will they...
9-3 scoreline. That 1 versus 3 Oscar had. Imagine if they had won that 9-4. You break the money. You could easily make it 9-5. Try and finish it off 9-6. But they shattered the economy. They shattered the confidence and mental fortitude of GODSENT. Forced them into a force by Rup. Anyway, it's going to be the pistol coming out now. 12-3 will be the scoreline. If mousesports win this one, that could be all she wrote for GODSENT.
The old classic no silencers, apparently. Everyone's got their silencers off on their USPs here. Got to make it hard for themselves somehow, right? As the push comes in, Disco Doppler, though, going to open up the round fairly devastatingly. Dennis as well, going to claim 2 dastardly frags for himself. It's all on STYKO. No silencer, no kill, and he goes down. 3K for Dennis, and an opening pistol round for GODSENT.
Yeah, you can see the fact that I might be reading this too much here, but taking off the pistols, having a good laugh, it sort of shows their morale right now in the team.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I think so, right? Unless
having a bit of a laugh.
Unless everyone's just a big fan of Forrest. He always
maybe
loves doing that.
Who knows at this point? Anyway, it's going to be the Eco coming up from Mount. Oh, say Eco, wow. Forced by across the board. All 5 players going to be forcing into this round. Round number 17, which means potentially if they lose this one, we could be seeing no AWP into the first buy round. Is that potentially the lifeline they need? No AWP being wielded by Oscar. Is that a way they can try and get themselves back into this one? Make it 6-12. Win the first buy round. Make it 8-12. Win versus the forced by Sneakers. That will be basically brought to fruition from mousesports. It definitely is a chance, but of course, mousesports still in the running for this round. Bomb, outside drop towards T-Spawn. So GODSENT could be mirroring the exact same we saw mousesports do on their ecos, or sorry, the anti-ecos. Essentially playing very slow defaults, holding for the aggression for the CT side, and seeing if anyone from that mousesports side with the pistols will peek into their crossfires or rifles.
This could be pretty cool. Oscar and suNny are actually playing together. They have the double nades. They could try double nade in if they get first contact here. It could transfer so much damage, though, so they actually do go for it.
Oh, the timing there. Caught the nade out. This good Doppler. Does find one. Twist as well finds the second. It's going to be the 5 versus 3. Smoke comes out towards connector. Actually, no, scrap that. Smoke comes out towards balcony instead. I used to throw that one of the old executes. And there we have it. 5 versus 3. Actually, suNny gets caught off guard. Make it a 4 versus 3.
Grab that weapon as well. It is the UMP now going to be armed over on Chris J. What do they actually do? Are they going to try and run the risk? I mean, they do have armor. They're outnumbered. They know the site's been taken. It's not the easiest site to retake at the best of times, especially when you don't have too much to work with. They have utility as well. Probably best to just call it as they have. Back off. Save these weapons. We do see a bit of a more aggressive angle there from Rops. If anyone does push through connector, could possibly grab himself a Galil or an AK, but it's just the luck of the draw, really.
Yep. So, it's going to go 5-12 now. GODSENT do win versus the forced buy from mousesports. They do have 3 players staying alive on their CT side going into the next round, which means Chris J could drop over the 5-7. And we could be seeing a 3 upgraded pistol buy with the UMP as well, which obviously isn't anything to laugh about if you're GODSENT after losing so many rounds versus the pistols in the first half.
Yeah, you've got to wonder if they do sort of have anxiety against trying to take those rounds against mousesports when they're armed with just pistols, because even on half one, they were still incredibly dominant, just working their way through with those even slightly upgraded firearms. We're talking P250 frags coming out of nowhere that were just phenomenal.
So, let's see what it's going to be. Round number 18 now. It's going to be the Galil there for Schneider. 4 AKs, so no UMPs, no MAC-10s, no SMGs right now going into this round. GODSENT going to be playing this one nice and safe. They don't want to be taking any chances. Yes, you get extra cash of the MAC-10s and the UMPs, but actually does add a slight degree of risk. Having the lack of firepower, the lack of the range, distance advantage as well, means there is an extra chance there for the mousesports CT side to maybe get a chance into taking it. So, risks averted. Schneider there having the Galil, 4 AK, see what they can do versus the pistols and Kevlar of mousesports.
Waiting for the push to come towards them into this round. 1:20 left on the clock, essentially, as the smokes do start to go out. Forcing out that utility just in case there was any tricks up the sleeves of mousesports. They only have 1 smoke and a HE left. And then it's all just up to their raw individual aim and how they can complement each other on those angles. Very aggressive from Oscar here. You don't see this one too often. More of a one-and-done angle. You peek out. He does land the tag, though. If that would have been the frag, could have really shaped this round up differently into the early game.
Potentially. But still, the 3 players that saved with Kevlar are still alive. Twist onto 9 HP. And you can see a 3-man stack here from mousesports towards the speed bombs. It's a good read here. They're going to leave suNny alone towards A. They're going to be walking into the Kevlar now of these 3 remaining mousesports players, and the UMP as well onto Chris J. GODSENT throwing in the utility. Molotov's flashbangs rain through. Let's see what they can do.
Oh, the HE is going to go in. Transfers a fair bit of splash damage onto them as that push is raring to go. The foot is on the pedal. They rev their engine as they burst their way out. It's coming up all GODSENT right now as they are sending mousesports packing. It's just left on Robs. P250 to his name. That's all he's got. He's got his finger on his trigger, and he's itching to try and take them down as he just waits this one out. We'll try and tiptoe around, but what does he actually do here, Snods?
Yep. Try and find some exit kills, then that tier cover as much as possible. We'll find a nice headshot there. Onto Pith, but Dennis got a fast reply kill. It's going to be 12-6 now. mousesports still have double the scoreline that GODSENT are able to conjure up. So, we're going to round number 19. Let's see what the buy's going to be like right now for the CT side. I mentioned before, as soon as mousesports went for the 5-4 spy into round number 17, it meant that they won't be able to afford and have an economy affluent enough to be able to bring forward and open to the first buy round. So it's actually going to be the UMP for Oscar, Famaster for STYKO, 2 M4s, sorry, make it 3 M4s as the remainder of the CT buy. GODSENT going to be carrying forward the AKs and the Gilil, of course. Heavily aggression though, as Dennis finds the first for this one.
Ooh, very aggressive. Looked like he actually did get away with it there, but gets caught out just before he could get behind boxes and taken down by Dennis. Pretty interesting opener. Oscar as well, going for the UMP. Left himself about 1,500, so obviously just trying to see if he can build up some more cash with that weapon, if they did win the round, to allow him to repurchase the AWP as the game progresses. But losing Chris J this early might shape the round up in a negative light.
5 versus 4. 1 minute 10 still on the clock though. Bomb outside drop. suNny and Koga are trying to hold this one off towards window. Oscar gets tagged up as well. It's not a good sign for mousesports. Oscar onto 60 HP. suNny alone towards window. And you can see. Drops STYKO towards that B bomb site. Oscar as well gets tagged up even heavier with the HE grenades. Smoke comes in towards middle. Has to fall back now, back towards wood. It's going to be alone towards the A side. suNny says to rotate back through connector towards balcony to aid Oscar. He's playing the pixel angle. As soon as he spots out a player, he has the HE to try and rain into some damage. But apart from that, what else can he really do? Twist going to be lining up the smoke towards balcony. So we are going to be seeing the execution come towards the A side with the man advantage.
It's some incredibly nice, what's it called? Is it moonwalking? It's not moonwalking, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
What Michael Jackson used to do?
Yeah, mate, come on, that's moonwalk.
Moonwalk.
Yeah.
It is the moonwalk. They're the moonwalk.
Mm.
As they walk their way through. So that's quite nice to see. Obviously, maybe GODSENT have been working more on their dance moves rather than team structure.
Potentially, who knows at this point. Obviously, they are 12-6 up, so they can